Hey everyone, I'm Bethany.
Hi, Bethany. Oh, did you want more from me?
Yes, please.
Sorry, I haven't done this in a while. I don't
know.
remember what I'm supposed to do.
Well, I didn't either. I had to think about it before we actually got started
Okay,
here.
I'm ready. Hi, everyone. I'm Bethany.
No, that's my part.
Oh, what's my part?
Your name. It's literally all you have to say at the very beginning.
Your name.
Y'all.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dalton. Aren't you so glad that all of my shenanigans are back?
Oh my word. So this is 30 seconds probably gives you insight into my entire work day.
That is not true. I worked today.
Yeah, but that's what it was like all day long.
But there was work involved.
Well,
right now.
yeah.
I'm just sitting here playing with a wire.
Well, that's true, y'all. And I do genuinely feel bad for Dalton. We were joking today. He has worked here going on 3 years, and he is going on his third office. Whenever there's like a need or somebody new or we just want to change things up, it's like, hey, Dalton, you're out. And so that means half the time he ends up in my office because he's homeless.
I am a nomadic people. I just go wherever the wind takes me. Do you want to talk about podcast things?
Yeah, we should talk about podcast things.
What are we going to talk about? We need to do some housekeeping.
Yeah, and I don't even remember what the housekeeping is.
That's because you haven't done any of it.
I know. I was thinking about that. We were all like, oh, we'll be back this summer before the season. Don't worry.
We weren't.
We totally were
Well,
not.
as you'll find out in a few moments, there are a lot of updates to just weed through, mostly on one person's side. Again, we'll get into that in a moment. But we do have a little bit of housekeeping. So
Okay.
we have a newsletter.
We have a newsletter
that you don't do anything
I am
on.
so derelict in sending.
Ooh, good word.
Thank you. So you can go sign up for it. I think we've had
Apparently
issues
it's
with
useless.
the button in the past, so I will make sure that that's working. But yes, you can go to our website lookingforthemiddle.com for that.
You can find my bio on there.
You cannot. Your bio for the entire 2 years that we have been doing this, because I got the website set up before we switched over with you as the host. And I was like, well, I'll just put coming soon and I'll get a bio from Dalton. And it has been 2 years and he has not even thought about it.
But no, see, that's the running joke at this point because I think about it every time I get on here.
Anyway, y'all have his bio at this point if you listen. You don't need something on the website. But the other two things that are normally on our housekeeping list are social media. You can follow us on Instagram at LFTM_podcast. And now that the season is back, we will be more active on there. And then the other thing is there is a Facebook group on Facebook, which is redundant now that I've said it, for the ladies of the Looking for the Middle community. If you would like to join that, it is just LFTM community on Facebook. And it's a fun discussion
That seems a little misleading.
platform. How so?
It is an LFTM community.
Uh-huh.
But it's only for ladies?
Well, and I have extended the idea multiple times that maybe you should start one for the guys out there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that has gone about as well as your bio.
Basically, what we're finding out is I'm really bad at everything in life, and specifically jobs. Not good at those. I've made a little crown with this wire. It's kind of impressive.
Probably. I bet the audio right now is so crackly. It's probably not
it's
even.
fantastic.
Okay.
You still have another thing.
Those are the three.
Did you say Patreon?
Oh, no, I did not. You were right.
Man,
There's
I'm good at
four.
my job.
Okay. So, yes, we are on Patreon. We would love to have you join us there. You get more exclusive content, and you get everything a couple of days sooner than everyone else. So it's a good time over there. Join us. Just search Looking for the Middle on Patreon. That should round it out, I think.
That should round it out.
Okay.
We did that completely out of order.
We totally did.
But I feel like normally we have 4 things, right?
Yeah, that was 4.
Okay.
So that's right.
I didn't do my fingers like I normally do.
Oh, yeah, true.
Normally I'm doing
It's
hand
like
motions
counting
that
me
hurt.
down.
Let's question.
Yeah, you have the question of the day.
Question of the day. I don't even remember how I worded this. Oh, what is your guilty pleasure food from your childhood that you still go back and eat?
Mine, I actually ate last night, is a good old-fashioned box of Kraft mac and cheese.
Does that count as a childhood thing, though?
I don't really eat it in adulthood, except for when I'm
clearly you just did.
I was in the middle of saying except for when I'm like wanting like comfort food.
What were you eating comfort food for?
It just sounded good.
Did you have a sad girl day?
No, I didn't. It just sounded good.
Most of the time when I do my comfort foods, it's a sad boy day. But I'm having a sad girl day. Mine is not a sad girl day.
I'm just saying I don't typically eat Kraft mac and cheese when I want mac and cheese. I make mac and cheese.
Oh no! Well, you still have to make that.
You literally dump the noodles in, strain them, put milk and butter, and the cheesy packet. It is not much involved.
But that still counts as making something. Mine, I don't have to make.
You don't even thaw yours.
That's why I like it. Wait, did you grow up eating Kraft mac and cheese a lot?
I mean, it wasn't like every day, but yeah, we had a decent amount.
Huh. Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing to know about me. I don't really actually like mac and cheese that much.
That's so sad.
Not really.
I mean, I'm sure you're fine with it, but you're weird with food.
I am really weird with food.
Chocolate will kill you.
Okay, that one.
You don't like mac and cheese.
That's not a decision. I didn't choose to be allergic to chocolate. Don't take that the wrong worldly way. We can take that so many ways. I didn't choose to be allergic to chocolate. It was hereditary. Blame my father.
Okay, fine.
But the mac and cheese, I'm pretty much choosing not to like it.
That's fine.
I don't like mushy things.
That's fine. That means it's more for the rest of us who appreciate the goodness. So, moving on to your favorite food from your childhood.
Well, here's the thing. I don't actually think this is from my childhood.
It's just a childish food.
It is a childish food. Because the one from my childhood, I have two, would be the Cheez-Its.
Yes.
But the very particular ones, the big ones.
Bougie with your Cheez-It requirements.
Big. I like two different Cheez-Its. The extra toasty.
Okay.
And the Cheez-It big. Have you ever had the extra toasty? Do you like the extra toasty ones? Like if you're in a box.
I honestly don't know if I've ever had them.
Have you ever had Cheez-Its?
Yes.
Okay. If you're in a box of Cheez-Its and there's one that's like, that one looks a little bit burnt.
Yeah. It's a whole box.
It's an entire box with those.
Oh.
That's really good.
That does sound really good,
But the big ones are better because they're a little bit cheesier and they're a little bit saltier and it's just happiness. So I definitely ate those yesterday. My niece picked them out in the grocery store for me because grocery shopping with me is just walking down an aisle and seeing what I see and that's what I want. And sometimes it's not even walking down aisles in a row. I'll just think of something and walk to the other side of the store and then walk to the other side of the store again.
Oh my word. Okay, you have rambled for like 5 minutes. Tell the people what the food is.
I was just talking about grocery store people. Man, you are so hateful to me. All I am is loving and supportive and encouraging, and now people are finally starting to experience you just casting shame and hate upon me.
I just know.
I will state my food, and then I will shut up, because apparently it's a running theme in your family for everyone to be hateful to me and not want me to speak.
That is not
hurtful.
That's so not true. Also, who else in my family doesn't want you to speak?
Oh, who do you think?
Lindsay?
My sworn enemy.
Oh, Mel.
Yeah, I gotta throw shade. I haven't thrown shade
we'll
towards
tell
her in a
some
while.
stories about that in a minute.
Uncrustables, but not just any way of eating Uncrustables, because you just stick it in the fridge and you pull it out. No, you freeze it. This is a hack, people. Freeze an Uncrustable. It changes the game.
The tips you didn't know you need.
You get it out of the frozen box. And it's got a good mixture of a little bit of crunch to it and a little bit of the soft jelly in the middle, but it's cold and happy. Frozen peanut butter, man, that's a game changer right there.
Okay, so I have to know. I mean, you buy a box of Uncrustables. They probably come, 10 to a box?
No.
How many are in a box?
4.
That's it?
Yeah.
So
inflation.
So when you sit down and have your frozen Uncrustables, is it an Uncrustable or a box of Uncrustables?
And I have self-control.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I eat a box of Cheez-Its beside it. Actually, people think that, as a man, I would eat a lot of food. I really don't have a massive appetite. Mostly because I don't do a lot. So my metabolism is so low, it's not even funny.
You have the metabolism of a 74-year-old man.
I do.
That's
because
funny.
I also have the bones and ligaments of a 74-year-old man.
I can attest to that, given my observations at the church softball games.
Hey, we have won 5 games in a row.
Yeah, which is unprecedented is an understatement, really.
And not to take any credit for it, but I can't take any credit for it. I told the umpire last night that I could have gone pro if it weren't for all the injuries that I had and my general lack of athletic ability.
I was going to say, all the injuries and the lack of talent in that department.
I am struggling with this year's umpires. They don't think I'm funny.
Oh.
It's just hurtful. They're all a bunch of rule followers, and when I joke around with them, they just quote the rules to me and move on. It's no fun.
I know, all the guys who like smart off, they've ruined it for
They have, because I
everyone
make
else.
friends with all the umpires, and that's how I play better.
Is that hurtful? Is it hurting your heart?
No, it's hurting my game, because now they don't like me, and they're not giving me these calls.
Oh, so you're bribing them.
No.
Yes.
Kill them with kindness.
Well, that too. Okay.
I am a loving person, unlike you.
Anyway,
I'm throwing shade.
you really are.
It's because you were mean to me.
I really was not. Anyway,
What are we going to talk about?
goodness, we've talked about this for 11 minutes. We're like 11 minutes into this thing, and we've talked about Cheez-Its, Uncrustables, mac and cheese, and now I just want a snack.
Yeah, I'm good. I had Panera for lunch, and it was delicious. Not a sponsor.
So, we don't really have a specific
That's probably why I'm rambling.
topic. That's true. You're like, I don't know what else I'm going to say. We just wanted to kind of, because we were kind of MIA all summer. Let's just
And you will find out why soon enough.
recap.
Here's the funny thing. So we sat down the other day, and you said, okay, I know what we should do on our first podcast. And I said, great, what? Your exact answer was, let's just talk about what everyone has missed in our lives, which your life is interesting right now. My update, are you ready for it? I ate an Uncrustable yesterday.
That is so not true. You sell yourself short when it comes to that sort of thing.
I don't know what update. Are you living my life for me?
No,
Because
but
I don't know what's going on in my life.
you've been on vacation. You've got your deer stand set up. Like all sorts of exciting.
Not really a life update.
Oh, well, fine.
A deer stand is not a life update.
It is with the amount of time you spend talking about it.
With you, not on the podcast.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, here is my life update. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're just sitting on pins and needles the entire time. I told her I was going to talk in a super monotone voice today just to mess with her. Let's see. What have people missed? Well, they missed me because we've been MIA. I did have a new nephew. Well, I didn't have him. I didn't receive him either. I don't know how to word that. My sister had a child.
There you go.
Her third one.
There you go.
Little Milo was born, and she does not find it funny when I ask where Otis is, and I don't know why. I think it's
That's
hilarious.
always the first thing I think of. Well, Milo and Otis.
It's either that or I think of Milo from Atlantis. Have you seen that?
No.
You haven't seen Atlantis?
No.
What is wrong with you?
Lots of things.
You know, I know your parents.
Lots of things are
And
wrong
I have a
with
lot
me.
of things to say to them. One of which is, where did you go wrong with her?
My dad, I can literally hear my dad saying, well, how much time do you have?
To which I'd say, you want to go to lunch? Because I want to hear those stories. But yeah, little Milo was born August 5th. I think August 5th.
Sounds about right.
Because my birthday was the 7th, and I was really upset that he wasn't being born on the same day as me. My sister did not want that to happen, but I did. Because then it takes the limelight off of me.
That is true.
I didn't do anything for my birthday. I set up a tree stand for my birthday.
See, told you the tree stand was a big deal.
No, but like that's proof that I don't have a life.
I don't ever do anything for my birthday, really. I mean, I have dinner with the family, and that's it.
Oh, I didn't even do that.
Yes, you did. It just wasn't actually on your birthday.
Oh, that's when I almost got run over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another wacky, wild story. I was we went out to a steakhouse in Athens for my birthday. This is my extended family. And we were on the main strip. Trunk was open. I'm putting in my grandmother's walker into this thing. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this truck come flying behind me. And I thought, you know what? That thing's really close to my backside. I'm going to duck in just in case. And sure enough, I go, whoa! It missed me by 3 inches.
Feel it go by.
3 inches. My aunt goes,
That's
I don't
terrifying.
understand how that thing missed you.
Oh, that could have been so bad.
It would have been really funny, though.
No, it would not
I
have.
mean, it would have been a good story. Dalton, what happened to you? My butt got hit by a truck. I broke my butt.
You probably would have broken both legs in the process,
See,
though.
so I almost got run over. My sister had a kid, so I got to travel for that. I went on vacation like 73 times.
Yes, you did.
Look, in my defense, when people say free, I come running.
I don't blame you.
Because I'm Po.
I don't blame you.
I'm so Po I can't afford the other O and R. I think Vody Bauckham said that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
Stole from him.
literally just heard Vody Bauckham say that this week.
Trademark. From Vody Bauckham. I can't trademark that.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's fine.
I don't have. I didn't do anything special. It's been life as usual.
Well, that's okay.
What were you expecting me to say in this moment?
Well, I have some questions that are going to lead to certain things that I want us to talk about, but
okay.
We can talk about your online dating adventures.
Oh, great.
Later.
Great.
I mean,
That's another fun road
we have
we
to
can
get
go down.
we have to get to it at some point. It is still a dating podcast, so
yeah.
There's that. So we'll get
so
to that.
Bethany, your summer was kind of business as usual. I mean, nothing major that happened.
No, nothing at all.
I think it was pretty casual,
so
super
boring.
cash.
Super cash.
Any updates that you have for the people?
I mean, I have an update. I feel like most people know this at this point, but maybe not. So I may or may not have
Found a man.
Yes.
One. You found a man.
Right. That was actually technically during last season.
She actually just
It was
Googled
just-
a man, and this guy popped up.
It was on the DL last season. Obviously, we didn't say anything. So yes, I may or may not have gotten engaged over the summer.
What's his name?
Matthew.
The bearded wonder.
Yes, that is true. You're
I like
jealous.
his beard.
You know
he
it.
does have a high quality beard. Even though, am I allowed to tell on him now?
I don't know. What are you going to tell?
My nickname.
This is partly my fault, but yes, go ahead, because this was the only picture I showed you.
So we're work besties. Everyone knows it at this point.
Yeah.
It's just how it is, and we tell one another everything, which is always entertaining. Because I always come into her office and have story time.
Yes, he does.
Except I used to walk in and just say story time, and at this point you just anticipate it.
It's a foregone conclusion.
So I walk in, sit down, and just start going. So she had a story time. Like, so there's this guy. I was like, I'm going to need more information than that.
Yes.
His name is Matthew. I was like, is it Matt or Matthew? We need to know these things.
Matthew.
It is Matthew.
Yes.
And I said, I need a picture. So I got a picture. And the picture that I was shown was a mirror selfie.
Which, like I said, it's not the only picture I had. It's just the one I showed you. And so, Matthew, if you're listening, I really apologize that I didn't do any better than this.
I don't love mirror selfies. Because my next comment was, where was the duck face? Because that's pretty much what you're going to do. You will, when you take a mirror selfie, you are a basic white girl from the mid-2000s.
Oh, whatever.
You are.
No, that's not true.
It's pretty much
I guess
true.
I am a basic white girl from the mid-2000s, though,
You are.
so I would defend it.
Yeah, you are defending it right now.
That's what I'm saying, because I am it.
You're just proving my point.
Dang it.
So I named him Mirror Selfie for a very long time.
Yeah, but you also, every guy I've dated, you've come up with the most absurd nicknames for them.
I have.
Like,
Here's
absurd.
Here's the other thing. This is I'm
We
not
should
a
go over some of
conspiracy
them.
theory person.
yeah.
But this is my conspiracy theory. I have never met this man.
Dalton doesn't think he exists.
I do not believe that he is real.
He is real. Okay, guys, so listen. We met online. We met on eHarmony. He lives in North Carolina.
Oh, I thought it was farmersonly.com.
Shut up. No, it was not. So we met on eHarmony. And so he's like 5.5-ish, 6 hours away in North
I
Carolina.
thought you were about to say 5.5 feet. That's information you did not tell me.
Anyway, so he's moving here. Y'all
He lives
hear
in
this.
South Carolina?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay. I have not been listening
You,
well today.
seriously, do you listen to anything?
I need Q-tips.
Anywho, so yeah, so he has been here. He has been to church. Dalton was on one of his 73 vacations.
No.
I
Hold
didn't
on.
talk about order of operations. I said he was here. You were
but you're
on
trying
vacation.
to pin it on me.
Those are two statements of fact.
Yeah, but the way
Nope.
that you word it, you're trying to manipulate the situation to make it look like it's my fault.
I am not.
I had
I'm
a
just saying
vacation
he's
planned
real.
for months in advance because I like to plan things.
Unlike your other one
Months
where it was like, hey, I'm leaving
in
in a week.
advance. That is not true. It was 3 weeks. Months in advance, I had planned this particular vacation. And Bethany goes, oh, Matthew's coming in this weekend. I went, oh, you mean the weekend that I'm leaving? Aw, man. Shucks.
I can't help it.
He's
that
only
you
been
decided.
here, what, once?
No, twice.
Yeah, okay, but the one time he just so happened to get a flat tire on his way to church.
It is true. I saw it.
Just so happened.
Dalton doesn't think he's real.
And the just
He thinks
so
I bought this
happened,
ring for myself.
she apparently had to leave work early to go help him with that. Isn't that interesting? That the 2 times he has quote unquote been here, he has gotten a flat tire And I have not been here when I had a very long scheduled vacation.
But other people here met him.
And no one has confirmed it with me. I share this conspiracy theory with other people, and they're backing me up on it.
Yeah, one of whom was my sister,
That
who
was
has
great.
met him.
So here is my theory. I believe you have made him up.
It's not true.
You have made him up. You went and bought a ring so that because Bethany loves to go to the movies by herself. I think it's so that she can go to the movies more often, and so that when she gets quote unquote married to this figment of her imagination, she could go on another vacation this year and just call it a honeymoon. He's not real.
He will be thoroughly proven wrong of everything he just said.
No, I won't. I have a way around that.
How?
He's your Uber driver and you paid him to be here.
Stop it. Whatever.
I can talk my way around anything if you haven't figured that out yet.
Okay, y'all. Really, the problem is Dalton. Well, hold on, pause. Once Matthew does get moved here, we'll bring him in. We'll have an episode like we did with Kristen when she got engaged.
We're not talking about our future schedule yet.
So I'm just saying, don't worry. I'm not trying to shortchange on the story. We'll just tell a more detailed story once he is here and can vouch for himself. But what I was going to say is Dalton and his saltiness really are just stemming from the fact that he is still bitter, very bitter, that he's not the maid of honor.
I'm so upset about this right now.
That's actually what
Story
the
time.
problem is.
Story time. So, I think I have sworn on this podcast that I was going to be your maid of honor.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I said
Okay,
something about it
maybe
on the
you
podcast.
did.
I don't remember. I think I might have mentioned it on here. Suffice to say, I deserve to be the maid of honor. Just because it's me. I'm great.
Not my sister.
Well, sister, you have two of them. So you know what? You started an internal warfare. I was trying to alleviate any tension amongst the family. And you know what? Dalton's the maid of honor. So you two don't fight about it. But no, it's whatever you want to do. That's fine.
Yeah, so
I'm not salty.
I made a little, like when I asked the girls to like be bridesmaids, I had made this little basket and the little cards like, will you be my bridesmaid? And the one I made for Lindsay said, will you be my maid of honor? And so I gave them those. And so Lindsay texted Dalton like a picture of it and is like, see, it's official. Like, I'm the maid of honor.
Okay, this is what she sent. It was a picture of a maid of honor planner.
Right.
And then the actual thing that you made for her.
Yeah.
To which my smart aleck butt said, no, see how it says planner? That means you're the planner for the maid of honor. Me. So that was the first
That was the
comeback
first
that I had.
thing. But yes, they went back and forth. I don't know what all it was, but basically it ended up with Dalton photoshopping his own face onto the picture that I had put on the thing asking Lindsay to be my maid of honor, framing it, taking a picture with me with it. I don't even remember all of the...
You have missed the order of operations here.
Okay.
No, because Lindsay sent the actual thing to me, and yes, it is correct. I did spend about 45 minutes trying to figure out how to Photoshop something. I cropped my face over her face, and we can probably post this in the newsletter.
I'm totally putting it on Instagram.
But I cropped my face onto her face and then changed the name to be mine. And then she was not accepting of that. She said she wasn't buying it. So this is when I walked into Bethany's office, unannounced, gave no context. All I said was, selfie. Took a selfie with her while she was just trying to figure out what was happening. Came back 20 minutes later with a framed, Dalton, will you be my real maid of honor?
Yeah.
With a picture of us and all of the wedding information. Like, I mean, it was high quality.
It looked great.
But that was not the end of my shenanigans. Because I gave it to Bethany to take to Lindsay's house.
Oh my goodness.
My pettiness knows no bounds.
So the war continues. Dalton is still I'm a little concerned about, the girls' like health, well-being, and safety as we get closer and you realize you're really not going to be the maid of honor. Like I'm worried the links you might go to ensure your position.
No, because here's the thing. He's not real, so the wedding's not going to happen.
Whatever. You're going to give me a complex. Now stop.
You already have one.
It's not true. He's very real.
So you're not going to give them any details whatsoever.
Well, no, I can give some details. I can't. I just wasn't going to. What details would you like for me to share?
You met him on farmersonly.com.
Also known as eHarmony, yes.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about your dealings with eHarmony soon, so be nice.
How long did you guys date?
Actually, We got engaged. We missed it by 1 day that it was exactly 6 months. So 6 months in 1 day.
And there's a reason for that. Well, later episode, you'll actually talk about the reason why it was 1 day off. Right? Was it 1 day short?
No, it was 1 day longer. So it would have been 2 because we
okay.
got engaged a day earlier than I thought we were going to.
I am very salty.
Okay.
Because not only am I not the maid of honor, but she has not asked me to be anything in her wedding.
Well,
I play no valuable part in any of this.
You're my beloved co-host. And I don't know, do you want to be the DJ?
No, I'm already somebody else's DJ this year.
Oh, okay.
Other people care about me more. It's fine.
Whatever.
I haven't gotten an invitation to the wedding.
No one has. We haven't even sent out invitations yet.
That doesn't
Quit whining.
matter. I deserve to get a special
Okay,
one.
fine. I have printed a prototype. I will bring it to you tomorrow, and you can have it.
Prototype?
Anyway.
This is nonsense. So you dated for
6 months.
6 months.
Engaged for 6 months. Exactly a year.
In the totals.
Yes.
And we're not going to talk about what actually went down that fateful weekend.
Okay.
Because I think it's
yeah.
better to leave it. I want to hear it from both perspectives.
Yeah.
Because I've heard it from your side of how it went down.
Yeah.
And you said this is what he was thinking, but I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, true.
I want to hear what he was thinking.
What was he actually thinking?
So, teaser.
Yeah.
This is the teaser.
Okay.
It's an Office style.
It is. Which, if you know me at all, is kind of perfect.
Kind of a big deal. So that's one bit of information. Any other things that you have had going on this summer other than, a really big, massive moment in the history of your life?
No. Not that I can think of.
See, here's the thing. You didn't have anything but an engagement. So you really didn't have anything to say either.
No, I didn't.
Outside of the engagement.
Yeah.
And then you expected me to say something, single guy.
I haven't gone on vacation. My vacation has been spent him coming here, me going there.
I haven't gone on vacation. I've traveled out of the state multiple times.
Well, I have traveled out of the state. I've traveled out of the country, but I blocked that out of my mind a little bit with the trauma.
That still counts as vacation.
Okay, do you want to hear about that?
Yes, actually,
I guess we did, because we did kind of talk about it before we left of the big trip to Europe. So, yes, Lindsay and I and a few of our friends went on this giant, I guess it was almost 2-week vacation.
Yeah, and left me here.
We went to London for 5 days. And then Lindsay and I went to Paris for 4 or 5 days. And the rest of the group went to Ireland for that time. And the plan was we were going to meet back up in London and all fly home together.
Why do you say the plan?
Because from the time we left London, nothing went according to plan on the Paris half of our trip.
Oh, how so?
People,
I know this exact story, and it's entertaining for certain people.
Go to Paris. We get there. We're actually staying with a friend of hers, which was a huge blessing once you hear the rest of the story, because I would have literally had a nervous breakdown had we not been. So we're staying with the friend. We got there really late I guess it was like a Wednesday night. So we get up Thursday morning. We're getting ready. We have our whole agenda planned for the day. We're getting ready to go. And I heard something. I had already gotten ready for the day, got done. I heard something, and it sounded like somebody fell, but I didn't really hear, there was no scream or anything. And so I was like, well, that was weird. So I was going to check. I was like, I'll go check on Lindsay. She was in the bathroom. So I went to check on her. And about the time I'm getting there to check on her, she opens the door, and lo and behold, she had tripped and fallen in the bathroom. And she's like, I've hurt my arm. It's not good. And I'm like, okay, well.
Did she not have life alert?
No, she did not have.
Had she fallen and couldn't get up?
She did. She was able to get up. So I was like, Lindsay, I'm sure it's fine. Here, I was like, take some ibuprofen. It's fine.
You gave her ibuprofen for this and said it'll be fine?
No. I knew she was in a lot of pain, so I just immediately gave her ibuprofen, a bunch of it, and was like, the sooner you give it to her, the sooner it can kick in, kind of thing. No, it was immediately we knew we were going to the ER, but I was like, maybe you just. She was thinking she had kind of she caught herself in in the bathroom on the tile, when she tripped, with her arm. And so we were thinking she had hyperextended, dislocated something, whatever. So we're getting her ready. Obviously we need to go to the ER. We knew that. It wasn't just take ibuprofen and you'll be fine kind of thing. So we're going to go get it checked out. We're like, hopefully it'll be fine. So this is where I'm so glad we were at this friend's house, because the friend was like, okay, she somewhere she had to be, because it's like with her citizenship and green card and all this stuff. So she couldn't go with us, but she said, here's the address, get an Uber to this American hospital in Paris. And she said, everyone will speak English to some degree. And I'm like, okay, great. So we probably passed 4 or 5 hospitals on the way there. It took 45 minutes to get there. But we don't speak French. I mean, we did Duolingo for a few weeks, but we're not French speakers. So we get there. They take her back in the ER. I just sit out in the waiting room. So they come get me. And the first thing they say is, she's broken her arm really badly and she's going to have surgery tomorrow.
Whoa.
I was like,
that's a bombshell.
Okay. And so Lindsay's upset. I'm like, nope. Brave face. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We can handle this. No big deal. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they show me we see the x-rays, and it is like above the elbow, like completely broken in two. So that was at like 10 o'clock on the Thursday. They were going to do surgery Friday afternoon. So we are now in the hospital in France for at least 36 hours before they do surgery. So fast forward, they do surgery. We go home Saturday. I said, there is no way we're getting back to London and lugging our suitcases and train stations and whatever to get back there. So I called Delta. I said, help a sister out. They were wonderful. Switched us. We just flew straight out of Paris. But we had from Saturday till Tuesday morning then to kind of let her rest. We got to see the Eiffel Tower, which...
Yeah, I was really glad about that one.
Lindsay, she was the one who wanted to go to Paris. And she had said before we went, she's like, you plan whatever else you want to. I just want to see the Eiffel Tower. If that's all we do while we're in Paris, I will be happy. And wouldn't you know, that is all we did while we were in Paris. So yeah, she has this giant plate and like 10 screws.
And a really good scar to prove it.
And quite the scar. I, on the other hand, may be a wanted fugitive in Paris for not paying the bill correctly, potentially, maybe.
Yeah, just
have I told you this whole story?
Oh, yeah, you told me.
I thought I did. So, yeah. So, when we get there, before they would even admit her, they were like, oh, well, you don't have all the medicine. It's like public medicine, like socialized medicine there. And so...
Universal healthcare.
Thank you. So they don't pay anything, but we're not on the French Social Security to where we did have to pay for it. And so they were wanting me to pay for the hospital stay and the entire surgery up front. Which I don't know what the conversion rates are, but we're talking over $10,000. And I was like, yeah, no, don't have that. So I gave them enough money that they would admit her, give her some pay. I mean, they were like not holding us hostage, but in the sense of they couldn't admit her, couldn't give her any pain medicine until we had taken care of this. Mm-hmm. So paid enough. Okay, fine. So we get all of that figured out. And so it's like, well, we'll just pay the rest when we leave. And I thought, okay, well, I can figure out, call Dad. We can get the money together. So then we get ready to leave on Saturday. And we got all of the stuff. They were discharging us. And the guy goes, here's a bag that has all of your scans and all of your x-rays and prescriptions in it. And I was like, okay, so do we just go to billing and whatever? And he goes, oh, no, it's Saturday. They're closed. So we left. And for a while, I was a little bit worried. Thankfully, the insurance is handling it. I don't think we are wanted criminals, but I was a little worried that I would try to go back to France someday and there'd be like my picture would pop up and be like, do not admit.
Well, you've seen Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah.
There's an episode where Andy and April get health insurance, and so they go and try and take care of all of their medical problems in one day. And they go to the dentist office, and she hands him the bill. She goes, here's your bill. And he goes, oh, no, we have the free medicine card. She goes, no, there's still a $500 deductible. And he goes, but it's free. I have the insurance thing. She goes, you still have to pay the deductible. And he grabs his card, grabs April, takes off running and screams, Dine and Dash! And then immediately runs into an ambulance. That's what you did. You dined and dashed.
We totally did. I told Lindsay, I was like, do not ask any questions. Just go.
So you stole from France.
Basically.
How could you do such a thing?
I don't know. Now I have put it on record for all of eternity now.
Well, I don't know
that was dramatic.
But it was a little bit dramatic.
But up until that point, we had a fantastic time on our trip. And now we just have quite the story to tell about the second half of it.
My vacations were, I went to North Carolina.
Okay.
Yes, North Carolina.
Did you see Matthew while you were there?
I can't. You can't see fake people. Went with Mi Familia, which was lovely, except for the one problem of the bed that I had. I would have rather slept on a concrete floor.
You pretty much were.
I gathered all of the blankets of the house and tried to stack them up to add a little bit of support, and still every single morning I was laying on a foam roller trying to get the knots out of my back. It was miserable. My poor mom felt awful the entire week because I would go to carry something and I would just go so that was the one vacation, which, by the way, I drove like 5,000 miles this summer.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. And then 3,000 of those miles I drove in the span of 2 weeks.
Good grief.
Yeah, I think I'm blocking out the summer because, I mean, the vacation with my family, that was nice. The bed situation's funny, but
yeah,
it was a rough summer. It was just rough for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in ministry. There's a lot going on with my family. I had the second vacation I was on, about halfway through, I found out one of my former students died. So, like, working through all of that, and then ended up leaving that vacation, turning around the very next day, driving up to Kentucky, staying there for 2 days, coming back the next weekend, driving right back up to Kentucky for the birth of my nephew. I was all over the place. So I don't really have a lot of updates. I think because I've just blocked out a lot of it in my mind.
Makes sense.
So I had a summer.
You did.
I had a summer. You had questions for me.
I did. So Dalton is making strides in his...
Am I really, though?
Yeah, because this is sound dramatic again too. What you have done is something that a year ago you were in I would never territory.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a big deal. So I have been telling Dalton, and as I have told you guys, all of you, for years at this point,
she has, that
when it comes to online dating, you get what you pay for in a lot of ways. I have been a huge believer of that, and that the free apps, even if you pay for them, are low investment, low return, because there's not a lot required of you to... We all know you can download Hinge because you're bored or lonely or whatever on a Friday night and you want somebody to talk to. That's how that works. The ones that take more thought into the profile, the ones like eHarmony, that have a formidable questionnaire to start with.
FarmersOnly.com.
Or that one.
Where you met Matthew.
And then a heftier price tag deter the people who aren't as serious. So I have been telling Dalton here that very thing for a while. And like I said, a year ago, he laughed me out of the building.
I did not laugh.
You, yes.
Denied. There's a difference.
You said you would never. No. That never going to happen. Well, you want to know what he walked in my office today and dropped on me?
Nothing. I dropped nothing.
Yeah. Dalton has now joined the ranks of the true online daters.
Yeah,
seriously.
but I've been on there 3 days and I'm still not married.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in my explaining how it worked, I have led him to believe that it takes a few days and then you're married. Somewhere I went wrong. I'm not sure.
I told Bethany that if I come out of this and paid money for this and I didn't get married, she owes me money. She is the refund department.
Which, okay, I will say, Mel met her husband on eHarmony. I met Matthew on eHarmony. So it works for us, I guess.
That was such a backhanded comment.
I don't really...
Works for us.
I know, I realize.
Sure it's going to work for you.
No, I just realized I can't say it works because I don't have a huge sample size. But
no, not at all. 2 people.
I'm just saying, give it a fair shot. We will be checking in periodically throughout the season to see how it's going.
It's going.
Because I also know one of our most requested, most favorite things we have ever done was our live swiping thing, which I don't think I'll be able to participate in, but we can totally do a couch cast, and you can save.
Sit here and live
you
swipe.
can save some of the favorites, and then we can go through some of them.
Oh, people, here is one.
Okay, see, look, we already have some.
This is one that is just absolutely hysterical. And if you are this person and you are a listener, what I am about to say is calling you out, and I will go ahead and say it on record. I am calling you out. Delete this. There was one girl that I saw on there. I guess she is a vet's assistant or she works in the equestrian field. But there is a picture of her forearm deep in a horse's rear end on a dating profile.
That was like scarring. Dalton was like, hey, here, look at this girl's profile. And I'm like scrolling. I was like, oh.
It's still on my phone.
Oh, it's bad. It is bad.
I don't know what possesses... Like, I understand. That's what you do. Maybe not that particularly is what you do all the time. But
shows the other end of the horse.
That's that. Even if that's what you do, please don't post yourself forearm deep in a horse's rear end.
Oh,
it was traumatizing.
My goodness.
You
know what might be fun? I am spitballing this here. I am not going to hold you guys to this in the slightest if you don't want to. But we should get... So Matt and our friend Matt and Dalton are now roommates. And so Matt's been on here before.
There's too many Matts and Matthews in the world.
I know, right? So it would be fun because we have talked about and lamented the woes of online dating from a girl's perspective a lot over the years here on this show. But we also know that most of our listeners are girls. And so it would be helpful to have a guy's perspective when it comes to like online dating. What is funny? What's helpful? What's not? We ought to get Matt to come on here and like, I could kind of like talk to both of you guys about that. Because I know he's like on there. He's doing stuff like.
Oh, is he? I don't even know these things.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible roommate.
Oh, I'm going to talk to him. I'll see him tomorrow probably. I'll tell him that you and I both think this is a great idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. The person that's going to see him tomorrow should talk to him rather than the person that's going to see him tonight.
Well, given how you were like, oh, is he really? I'm a horrible roommate. Didn't instill a lot of confidence in me that you would have that conversation.
Well, also given the fact that we were supposed to have people on here before, and it was my job to ask them, and I never did, so Bethany had to.
That too.
But there's a lot of contributing factors as to why I should not be in charge of things.
But yes, talk to him tonight if you think about it. And if you don't, I'll talk to him tomorrow. But I think that would be a really cool thing.
No, I think it'd actually be really good.
Yeah.
Because I know our perspective is going to be different.
Y'all are different ages. You are very different personalities.
Oh, yes.
Like very different. And so.
I think he's going to kill me in my sleep.
I mean, you probably would deserve it, but...
And he's also told me that he knows how to cover it up because he likes to listen to true crime podcasts and things like that.
That's hilarious. Okay, let's make that happen.
Deal.
Yeah, cool.
So what else do we have coming up this year on the podcast?
Okay, well, hold on. Let's go over here.
Why do you not have your schedule pulled up already? You knew we were going to talk about this.
I know, but we were kind of rushing and then all that, and I fell down on my job, okay?
I love when Bethany tries to filibuster.
I'm bad at it.
She's covering up the fact that she's looking for something. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. What she just did, where she was trying to cover up but also narrate a little bit, is what she does in real life.
Oh, I narrate my life.
I'm going to go over here and click this. And then, I need to send that email. And,
I do that. Okay, so Matthew and I talk on the phone a lot while we're driving because I practically live in my car. And I'm like, why is everyone stopping? Ugh. What is this guy doing? And he's like, I don't know. I can't see them. I'm like, oh, yeah. So, yes, y'all can commiserate over my narrating my life. Anywho.
And then you'll be sitting in the corner, and these guys are just talking about me.
Okay, so some of the things we're going to talk about.
What are we going to talk about?
Pertinent to what we were just saying. There's one, we're going to talk about the topic of, okay, I don't like online dating, so now what do I do?
FYI, this is all in no particular order.
None whatsoever. We're going to talk about practical ways to not waste your life in a single season, or a season of singleness, not single season anyway.
That's because we talked about last year, just kind of the methods and the thought behind the concept of don't waste your singleness, and now it's practically what does that look like? Okay.
We're going to talk about have you made your dating relationship or the process of finding one an idol.
Which I think that one's going to be really fun.
I'm looking for, and I think another one that I think is going to be really good is why are people in the church so obsessed with everyone getting married?
Because.
Yeah. And then we'll have Matthew on the show. We'll interview him. We have another interview I know we're working on with
he's already said yes to it.
Right. He's already said yes. We just have to get it on the calendar. And I will take care of that because, as mentioned, others of the two of us have trouble with that.
This one will be my favorite interview we have done.
He will easily be mine,
too. Our counseling department, and the man is just brilliant. in the way that he looks at everything.
Yeah. And so like brilliant, and at the same time, like just so scriptural.
Yeah.
Like
and,
it's just
and yet at the same time, he will still
phenomenal.
roast me.
He will. It's so great. Y'all will love him too. So we're gonna have Dave on here. It's just a matter of when we're gonna get that worked out. And then look, we can try to make this happen with Matt too. The two of you guys talking about online dating and what that looks like from a guy's perspective. So
we're gonna have a Matt and a Matthew this year.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot. We're gonna have to keep it
coming soon to a podcast near you.
So yeah,
is that our topic list?
That's a hand. I mean, we have several others, but that is
We'll
go through all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about theological non-negotiables, what those should be in a relationship. We're going to talk about how do I know if my feelings are true? Like, do I want to date this person or am I just looking for a person? How to differentiate between those two things. We're going to talk about what to do with perpetual singleness and what's a way to make the most of that and honor the Lord while still wanting and desiring marriage. And so, you and I've talked about a decent amount lately, balancing contentment with not being complacent, and that you don't have to just sit around and do nothing, but also still being content. And so where those two things merge is what I think what that will end up being a lot of.
You'll notice that a lot of these also build off of one another.
Yeah. True.
They're constantly developing off of one another. In how do we live, how do we practice, how do we think biblically about these things. So I'm really excited about
I am too.
What we have coming up this season. I think we're taking another level and going a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
To really think through and ponder not just what it means to be single, but how do you honor and glorify the Lord in that?
Yeah.
And for the church as well, how do you think about single people in your church, and how are you making them a part of the life of the body rather than just someone that's on the outside looking in? Because unfortunately, that happens a lot at churches.
Yeah, it does. They don't know what to do with
they just group them up and say,
number of
marry one another.
Yeah, which we will talk about that too. That is one of my big pet peeves. Is it happens so much when well-intentioned Christians are setting people up and they're like, well, she's a girl and she's single and she loves Jesus, and he's a boy.
That happened to me recently.
And he loves Jesus. And I went to bat for you.
You did. I was so thankful for you in that moment. Because when asking said person of why I should date the person they wanted me to date, they said, well, they love Jesus and they're single.
Uh-huh.
It's like, you got to give me more
I
than
called
that.
them on it. I was like, okay. So I said, so great. Those things are like must. I said, but outside of that, why do you think she would be a good match for Dalton specifically? And he couldn't answer.
Because she has breath in her lungs.
Yep, that was about where it stopped. And
That's
so,
about
it. Yeah. So no, that one will get me fired up of like, no, do better. So yeah.
Is that all of them? I want to make sure
Yes, that is all of them.
Skip any.
Yep. That's everything.
So we have got a big season coming up.
We do.
I think this is a good place to end. But before we end,
yes,
there is a little bit of a hard bombshell to drop. So actually, Bethany, I'm going to let you speak to this. The reason being is you have been on this from day one.
That is true.
Oh, wait. There's actually 2 bombshells to drop, right?
I don't know.
So the big piece of news, first big piece of news, didn't we cross over?
We did.
We crossed over 1 million downloads.
Yeah.
In the Looking for the Middle podcast, which is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does it feel to know over 1 million people have downloaded your voice? Not mine. I'm only a couple 100,000 max.
That is
You're
true.
1 million.
It is it's weird.
You're a millionaire.
I don't know. It's a weird thing because podcasting, and I've heard other podcasters say this too, so I know I'm not the only one who thinks this. Podcasting is very much a one-way medium.
Because you don't see the people you're talking to, unless you do things that you've been doing where you engage with people on social media and have these meetups.
Exactly. And so we sit here and talk, and we know you guys hear it, but the reality is we're sitting here in a room by ourselves talking to each other at the moment. So it's weird because it's like, okay, I know this is true because it says so, but there's not as, I don't know, it's just a weird thing.
Yeah, I can't really imagine 1 million people downloading this and listening to it.
Yeah.
Especially since I've come on here, it just feels like rambling. What's funny is my first real introduction to this podcast, it was you and Kristen actually sitting in this room.
Oh, that's so true.
This room looked so much different than it looks now. That is also
true. Wow.
But you guys were sitting at a round table recording this.
Yeah.
Did you both have a microphone at that point? Okay. So that was my first introduction to the show over 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Wow, full circle moment.
Which is a full circle moment. What season are we on?
This is 11.
This is the 11th season.
Yeah.
11th season, and it is
the final season.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There it is. Let's get it out in the open and talk about it.
The other thing. So, I came to Dalton and I was like, okay, what do we want to do? Like, I don't know. It's just, we didn't really know. And I was like, I don't know if I would have the time. I don't know what it would look like to still like be on the show. Like, I'm just not sure. And I was like, I mean, when Kristen moved, we were faced with either shut it down or find a different co-host. And I mean, you were here and I was like, okay, this works out perfectly. We're not really in that same place of, I was like, do you want to just find someone else to like come on and co-host it? Do you want to take it on your own? Like, what are you thinking?
See, that's for me, when I consider the season of life that I'm in. So yes, I am single, but I'm taking on a lot more responsibility. And one of the things, and we'll probably talk about this in a later episode, more towards the end of, as we wrap things up, we can talk about what does the future look like for us.
Yeah.
Individually and all of that. So one of the things that I want to do is become a head preaching pastor one day, which means I'm probably going back to school soon and taking on a whole lot more to my schedule.
Yeah. That
is an already busy schedule.
Yeah.
So it felt like the right time for me to kind of bow out. And since Bethany was also thinking the same thing, you know, someone's apparently getting married.
Yeah.
How dare you get married? You know, I've been on eHarmony for 3 days and I'm still not.
Which I will say too, though, Matthew and I have talked about, and I don't know like timetable or like what this looks like, but we've talked about the idea of like in the looking for the middle vein, like, and by that I mean just the honest conversations, not the, oh, we have it all figured out, but what would a podcast on being a newlywed look like? In the same feel of looking for the middle. And so that may be something that we end up doing.
Well, there's definitely a chance for some sort of spinoff coming off of this.
Yeah, but it would be like an ending of one thing and then a spinoff of something else, as opposed to it becoming something else. Yeah. So
for me, it felt like the right time.
Yeah.
And I know for you, given the new season of life you're going into, it felt like the right time as well.
Yeah.
I know that is... Some of you are probably not going to be surprised in the least bit because you saw Bethany post about getting engaged and you probably saw the writing on the wall with how long it's been and how little has been said as of late. But for others of you, it might come as a surprise, and we are sorry.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, we both did pray about it and try and decide what was best, and we felt like this was the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Even though I did say, man, we should have ended it last year. You could have stopped on 10. Now you're stopping on 11.
10 on 11. Yeah, and I mean, I'm planning to continue hosting like all of the back content, so it's not like the show's going away in that sense, which I realize, you know, is not that great of a consolation, but like it'll still be there, just won't be new content after the season. So with that being said, I would say if you have a question that you've never asked, if you have a question that you've always wanted to know the answer to, but you haven't sent in a Couchcast, now is your chance to do that. Send them in.
Yes,
I think we will probably, if I had to guess, we haven't talked about this, but we'll probably do one of our Couchcasts kind of maybe towards the end, maybe the last one, just kind of making an extended, just rapid fire, answer as many questions as we can. We'll try to get them all wrapped up throughout this season, all the Couchcast questions that we have hanging out there. So
we do still have an entire season to go, though.
That is true. There is a lot to happen between now and the end.
So let's go out with a bang.
Let's go out with a bang.
All
okay,
right.
guys. Thank you for being here. You are caught up on our lives now. And yeah, that's where Looking for the Middle is going. So tune in next week for another exciting episode, as they say. But until then, I'm Bethany.
And I'm Dalton.
And this is Looking for the Middle.